Okay, pero tengo que hacer the part in my head con la canción que no se pone más, but from the dun, dun, dun,
La puedes
dun,
poner
dun,
tipo...
dun, 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 dun. Pero antes, igual no se pone, like we don't even put it in the actual thing. No importa, because Marcos is minimalist. Hold on, my ear is itchy. But, okay. Dun, 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 dun. It like gets me in the mood. Okay. From Buenos Aires, Argentina, I am Paige Nichols, and this is Bad Information, a love letter to the country that drives us mad cow disease. And we have a very special guest with us today. Probably the most special, like full celeb spotting. I don't even know where to begin. Would you like to introduce yourself to the class?
Hi, Paige.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
Well, my name is Irina. You can call me Pala or Shovel, as you wish.
We're bilingual here.
Or bilingual. And yeah, I'm basically a food influencer. Ugh.
Food celeb.
Ugh,
I told
I
you
almost
guys.
died.
Yeah, it's like you're like
saying
I'm
that. No, food blogger.
Food blogger, content creator,
Yeah,
photographer, full photographer, like talented AF. You're a communicator. You tell the stories.
Yes, basically, I talk about food in Buenos Aires and the world.
The dream.
The dream.
And that's why we're here today, because who else can be so expert in talking about el temón of food?
Yeah, that now it's like big.
Hello, if anyone, well, first of all, if you are a longtime follower of this podcast, which you listening right now, I hope you are. And if you're not, I've been told to remind you to please like, follow, subscribe on every social media channel you can find me, including, but not limited to, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, probably TikTok eventually. We're getting there. Be patient. So do that first and then come back, and now you're back. Hurrah. But, we've talked before about like culinary culture in Argentina, maybe like customs and things that we love and hate and whatever, and things that drive us crazy as usual. But like it's time for a refresh. We're talking more maybe like more current now, because I feel like a lot has changed for better and maybe for worse. Spilling the tea in 3, 2, 1. But I mean, again, like I said, who better than you to guide us through this charla?
Thank you.
And to, maybe make some people upset, maybe to, inspire, anger. We're going to have all of the emotions. This is a safe space.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
So get ready.
Yes. Buckle your seatbelts.
I hope like none of your followers speak English. It's like you're like your haters. Do you have haters?
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's the internet. There's always a hater.
Are you really someone if you don't have haters?
Ooh.
They are the ones that make you someone.
Yeah. Because everyone can have a fan, but like you got to have some people being like it's like in the US or wherever, like on Reddit, where there's like entire subreddits dedicated.
I do have haters. I know. That's cool though.
It is cool. I mean, you gotta bancar los trapos, no?
Yeah.
That's you have to bank the traps. The rags. How is that? How was your experience? Like, how did you get how did you get where you are today? At your young 27 years of age, I feel like an actual ancient abuela. It is terrifying and amazing in
Thank
equal
you,
measure.
Grandma. Yes. So it's not very complicated. I liked going out. I don't have like a teary story like my grandma used to make a dish for me, and like my dad is a chef. Like no, nothing like that. I just liked eating, and in 2015, I think I was like, I think I really like this. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward 3 years, 2018, my friends like, hey, you should make a blog, blah. And I was like, okay. I made like a shitty logo on Photoshop.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. And I just started posting, not really thinking it was going to be big. Like, I just want to do what I like and share it with friends. And here we are.
Here we are. How many thousands of followers later?
134,000.
But who's counting?
Yeah.
I don't even know 134 people. Love that. And here
Me neither.
They're all internet friends, which is the most fun. But I mean, okay, cool. I mean, there's so many things that we could talk about that we will talk about. Of course, I have, as usual, my list. It looks like nothing, but here are my artichokes. Alcaucil. Love that. We're almost in season, or no? That's in the fall. I'm still like the calendar of like northern and southern hemisphere. I've never figured it out. Like I still think that September is like back to school. Not like primavera.
No.
It's kind of confusing. But you know what? Whatever. We just go with it because fingimos demencia.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're just gonna dive into it. And I know we've done a little like previa charla, so
we're not gonna lie.
We're gonna like
tea has been spilled.
The tea will continue to be spilleth fair, and we are not afraid because you know what? We are strong, independent women, and we can take it. And also, what is the point of using a platform if you're not going to be honest and transparent, and also maybe make people a little upset because it's kind of fun.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, well. Are you ready? Rapid fire.
We're just
gonna go into what we were just talking about before Marcos decided to hit record. Overrated. Like, what are we tired of? Like, I'm just, it's like, because, okay, let's back up because I'm always like all over the place. But, we love Buenos Aires, obviously. We love Argentina, obviously. We love its culinary heritage. We understand it. We love other countries sometimes a little bit more because maybe it feels a little more exciting and flavorful. But Argentina's home, right? And we love that for her. And we love that, like, over the past however many years, I mean, I've been here, 15 years, quinceañera. I should have a quinceañera party. I think I will. Put that idea, like, in your back pocket. I mean, it really is incredible how much it's changed. I got here in 2007, and literally, like, first of all, you don't have to reserve at any restaurant because no one was going out to eat, really, compared to what it's like now. And
even in 2018, when I started, wow,
it was like it was so different. So like it's amazing to see how much it's grown, and like all these young chefs and bakers and winemakers and everything in between have like maybe gone abroad and learned and come back and bring this knowledge. Like it's so incredible and so amazing. But that's not without, that growth doesn't come without growing pains. Yeah. And maybe just like now we have more to complain about, because ultimately this is just a podcast about complaining, but not necessarily complaining about the exact thing we're talking about, but it's fun just to pick it apart. So, I feel like let's start on a low note and talk about what we're sick of. Rather than like it's like, I love all the good things. Now let's talk about the things that are driving us up the wall. Because I don't know, we've got to get people interested. You got to listen for the next like hour. And if you're not listening for the next hour, I will find you. And so will Palinha, because I speak Portuguese now. And we will beat you with her shovel. But actually, yes, well, that's a whole other conversation of what pala means and why you're pala. But
never mind.
That will be in the bonus track.
I didn't know what it meant. Okay, I was innocent.
You were young and innocent.
I know.
You're wearing white for a reason.
I know. And now I'm here. I'm pala.
And you're pala. What's overrated? Like, what's happening? What are we sick of?
Restaurants
what or
do you
trends,
want me to
dishes.
Say?
It could be anything. It could be concepts. It could be whatever you want it to be. This is a build your own adventure.
I mean, if I'm tired of ingredients.
Yes.
First of all,
Yeah. Like let's expand.
Like burrata, pistachio, mortadela. Like how many more pizzas with burrata, pistachio, mortadela are we gonna have?
Probably
sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh my god.
How many?
Like probably between 12 and 25,000.
Yeah. Like great combo.
But like
amazing.
It's been done.
But let's explore something new.
Like, do you feel like there's this thing, and I've talked about this in other realms, like on the pod about, I feel like Argentines are so creative and like so innovative and so able to hacer mucho con poco, because like we live in the culo del mundo and like we don't have we have no money and like, we're far away from everything. We don't have the access that other places have. But like, aún así, it's like someone invents or brings about a combination or like an idea and it like does well. And then everyone else is like, that's really good. I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Like carrots, burned carrots.
Why are they always burnt?
I don't know.
I was like,
do they have to be like charcoal?
Also,
burned?
like, exactly. Like, I know, like, isn't that bad for you?
Beetroot.
Oh my God.
Beetroot with ricotta. And do you know the circular shape of the ricotta?
The little spiral, the little espiral. It's almost like the espiral Fuji or whatever for the mosquitoes. And now it's the ricotta espiral. Yeah. And then we've got, a lot of ciruelas. Yeah. Sorry to the vegetarians in the room.
We're sorry. I mean, they are really good.
I love a ciruela. Like I love
juicy,
a ciruela.
but let's just see if there's something else.
Something else.
Or maybe another way to prepare them. Because if it's always going to be like a ricotta,
they get a little like limp. Like sometimes it gives me like a little weird texture. I'm like, what am I putting in my mouth? Like, do I want this? Do I want this near my mouth? I mean, again, there are certain places that do them very well, let's say, but like, let's keep that as the gold standard. Everyone else, get a new hobby, figure something else out. Sorry, not sorry. Like there's so much abundance.
Yeah.
Like I'm sick of, I like the whole as someone who has, as you can tell, as I'm talking, like a little bit of ADHD or like just easily distracted, I love a platito. Like I do love a place where it's
I was
like,
going to say that platitos are like...
but it's kind of like the platito, vinito, everything's diminutive. And it's also like it's like, I feel like, you know, it's just a sea of
and you
platitos.
have one French fry for each. And it's like you have to fight for your life to get the last French fry.
Literally.
There were 3 on the plate.
Don't even get me started. And also when they bring like a sauce, they bring like a baby squirt. It's like, what is this? A sauce for ants? I need like a condiment. Like I need more.
But the worst thing is when you order like croquetas and you're 2 and they have 3. Who the hell thinks it's okay to bring 3 croquetas to a 2-person table?
Honestly, it's like a riddle.
That's why I love Julia.
Yeah, well, because
they're like, if you're 4 on the table, you have 4 slices of bread. If you're 10, you have 10.
That makes so much more sense.
Thank you.
Because it's like, don't make us put our friendship on the line.
Yeah, I don't want to fight.
I mean, this is not
going to have to.
I don't want to throw down the gauntlet. I mean,
the other day I had to cut a croqueta in 3. They don't
teach you that in school.
That was my humble moment.
We were like,
Yeah, and it was like all...
Meanwhile, on like the little metal camping plates, every place, I mean, I get it. Maybe I'm sure it's very easy to clean and it's cheap and it's stackable and doesn't break. But like, I would like a little more comfort.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying, okay, vuelvan los manteles blancos, because that's like a whole, I get it. I love that like fine dining has evolved. Like, I love how you can go to like exquisite, amazing restaurants and have
that feel casual,
fabulous meals, but like, and it's like every detail is like cuidado, but like it's a bit punky. Like, that's why I loved Chila, because they were like punky cool, but like impeccable service and like everything. I thought it was like very sexy in its own little way. But like, I am sick of a metal chair.
Yeah.
Like my back hurts. I am old. Like I have back pain. Like I wake up in the night unable to
My
move.
mom suffers. My poor mother.
Well,
where can she go?
I feel her pain. But like, I mean, give me a comfortable chair. Or if a place has like comfortable chairs, it's like shitty service. Like, do you feel like there's a bit of like a little contradiction there where it's like the cool places.
There are very few places that have everything well put out. Like good music, great level, good service. Like, that's like finding
It's a unicorn.
The Pokemon. How is it? What is it called?
Is there a would you know about Pokemon? I'm asking the ghost in the room.
The Pokeball.
The Pokeball. Gotta catch them all.
Yeah,
so
that
it's
one.
just like a unicorn moment where it's like exactly like you can't have good price point that feels fair, great service, comfortable, close to me also, because like I don't have a car. I don't drive. I wish I did, but like
But that's you reaching out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
I cannot have my restaurant delivered to my door.
I mean, well, if you know the right people, you can. Which I bet you can. I mean, you're like, let me just make a call. Like I was saying,
contacts,
I have
baby.
The owner of my ride or die Indian restaurant will WhatsApp me with like a wellness check. He'll be like, algo para la noche, and I'm like, God,
that's something I cannot deny.
Like if I die,
just
I know
getting
Muhammad,
your cell phone and like, hey,
he's just gonna be like, hey, and I'm like, and he's like the usual, and I'm like, the usual. Yes. Like that's comforting.
Like, there's a line.
Yeah, or just like save me a croqueta because you know you're gonna run out. Also, like, well, that's the whole thing too. Like, I get that we have to have like limited production of things, and like that's fine. But like, also, and I know that like clearly I don't.
Palmerita Gate again.
I don't have.
Okay.
I don't have.
Let's start.
I don't have. It all goes back to the Palmeritas. I don't have a degree in business. I can't even add. So like I know how hard it is to like run. I can imagine. I'm like, how do you even start to be like, how many potatoes do I need to run my restaurant? Like the cálculos.
Yeah.
But at the same time, places that like run out regularly of things, it is kind of frustrating because it's like maybe we should just plan a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because I know
I get you on that.
I know we want to like generar demanda and like that is like spicy and you want people to be
maybe
like,
you cannot make like 1,000 media lunas, but yeah, if you feel like that's every day, maybe
we want to find that balance. Like I feel like maybe a little like I love the idea of trying to create like a cult classic because I feel like we have some like new, like there are certain places like for you, like, I don't know, like the cookies, the Togni's cookies, which we love. They're so flipping good.
And no one can get them.
And
we don't know what's happening. Almost like I am the only one that's eating them.
I did get one last week and I did feel blessed.
Good for you.
I was like,
you're 1 in a million.
I know. Sorry. But you have to go. I mean, yeah, it was even on like a weekend. And I was like, what am I doing in Barrio Chino on a weekend? And
oh my God.
I know. Yeah. Well, I went to Mian, my favorite place. And then, it was two. And
how much did you wait in line?
No, I didn't go because I had the dogs and I wanted to do takeaway. They were like, we aren't doing takeaway because it's too crowded. So I was like, well, we'll just go have a coffee at Tony's. And then I got a cookie. So I was like, he giveth and he taketh away, and the universe se equilibra or whatever, like karma. I don't really know.
The other thing I'm tired of, sorry, can I just...
Oh, go for it.
Interrupt you abruptly.
This is chaotic.
Because I was like, Well, you talked about this in your last episode, but like coffee is really...
How many specialty cafes does a girl need?
Yes. I have 3. The 3 I like.
Yeah, that's it.
Because if they're going to open 20 every week, are they all going to be shitty? Or like maybe one's going to like maybe try to get a barista.
It's like no, like Drake said, right? Like no new friends, no new specialty cafes.
It's like you go there and like there's not even a barista in sight. No. And then your coffee's burned. And like everything we criticized about the Bar de Viejas coffee, it's like starting happening again.
Exactly.
Just at a higher price.
Oh my God. Well,
more uncomfortable place, shittier service. The same
not even service
coffee.
Like not even table service. At least if I have burnt coffee at my Bar de Viejas, it's like I know I can sit and they like me at the end, then it's at least I have that little that kindness, and I get the newspaper and they give me a little cookie, a little sodita, like the whole thing.
That's that's something I'm very over.
I'm done. And I also feel like it's tough because, you know, you especially like, and I, you know, back in my day when like, you know, writing about food and gastronomia and all that stuff, you know, you it's part of your job. I mean, it is your job to like go out and try new places.
Yeah. And I love coffee. I want to say that I'm like the biggest freak in specialty coffee. I do it at home. I have my machine. I took courses.
Like, you know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. That being said, I'm tired of paying 1,000 almost pesos for a shitty coffee.
I know. And also it's like, por favor. Like and then it's like you just want to go to the places that you know are good. Like, why do I have to keep exploring new places when they're going to let me down?
Coffee is important. I don't want to have like a letdown. I know. Our life is so hard.
It's really hard to be us. So hard to be us. My flat white was kind of burnt. God. Honestly, Kim, there's people that are dying. Literally.
Like, I feel ill.
Like there's no palmerita. Marcos, I'm going to call you out. And then our flat whites are bad. What is your go-to coffee order?
It used to be latte, but now I'm cappuccino girl.
Oh, okay. But like cappuccino after like only in the morning? Or do you have cappuccino in the afternoon?
I can have like 5 coffees in a day.
But like you have a cappuccino at 4 p.m. You don't care what the Italians say?
No, not at all.
Making enemies in Milan in 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, but coffee in Italy, it sucks.
Oh my God.
I'm going to make enemies abroad. I don't care. That's not so bad.
Oh my God. Welcome. This is the best. This is the greatest day of my life.
I don't know why people say Italian coffee is good. It's horrible. It's like burnt.
Who has the best coffee?
The specialty coffee wave, it started in Australia.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah?
I did know that.
So Australia, some places like Copenhagen.
Yes, we love the
great
Danes. Japan knows how to do their coffee.
If you see a Japanese person, I'm like, I trust you with my life.
Yeah, it literally is like you can do whatever you want.
Maybe you're not good at it, but I think you are.
I know, maybe it's
Korean
like
as well.
It's like a bad bias, but it's a good bad bias. It's like, because I'm assuming everything you do is amazing.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, I think
that's being like racist, but on the other side.
I think it's like, I mean, I don't think
flipping it.
Yeah, I think that it's more just like I think I've talked about this before. When I was little, I did want to be Japanese, and I had a Japanese pen pal, and I have a kimono for a child that when I moved to Argentina in the limited suitcase space that I had, I decided to bring my child kimono and like books. I was like, who needs things to live? Bring a kimono for a 9-year-old when you're 20, but no regrets.
I trust them with my life.
Okay, don't roll your eyes. The ghost in the room is flipping and rolling his eyes again. You know, you're really grinding my gears. Love you though. Thank you for, again, shout out to what was her name? Giovanna? Oh my God, who was very mad that we talked about your microphone in your studio.
It is my house.
She just wishes she was you because, you know, you've got great hair. Okay, so on the flip side of overrated, we started out on, you know, being over it. What is underrated? What do we think people aren't paying attention to? Like, do you feel like there's this like there's too much of like a group think where like everyone just focuses on like café de especialidad, like ciruelas, whatever, and they're missing out on other stuff that's happening? Like, where should we be putting our attention?
I think there are some places that are doing like cool things that maybe not like inventive, new, super special decorated plates, but like just good, simple things, which I think everything like kind of like that's the best thing. That's all you need.
Like at the end of the day,
simple things, well done. That's it.
Listo. Like,
for example, el imperfecto.
We love el imperfecto. It's true. It is.
I don't want it to be like, I don't want to talk about it too much.
Bleep like, that out. Can we bleep that out? Can we be like, you know what place is so good? Beep.
Because you'll never know.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, how do you feel about like, I mean, I think it happens to all of us, even among like even people who don't have like a public, you know, profile or persona, where it's like you obviously want to share the good stuff, but at the same time you kind of want to keep it for yourself. Yes. And so we're gonna girl boss, gaslight, gatekeep our way through this episode. But like, how do you feel about that? As your like, how is that for you?
I don't think about it too much. I'm like, I'm going to be honest. I don't really like people that think they own things. Like, I was the first one to go to like this restaurant. So I'm the owner. No one can talk about it. Yeah. Like, I was the first one to go to this provincia, and I discovered everything. So now everyone that comes after me.
Are you Christopher Columbus?
Like, you know, that's like, are you a little bit too entitled? Maybe. Yeah. So like, I like
to share. We're democratizing.
I like to share good things. And, you know, just be chill. Like, I don't recommend a place and the next day it's full unpacked. That doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen to me yet. Like, there's no place I recommended that the next day you couldn't get in.
Yeah.
You know, one day I recommended a place I love called Bar Oriente. I'm going to say it. And, like, someone wrote, like, a very disturbed message. Like, you're sharing this and you're going to ruin it for everyone. And I was like, first of all, chill out.
Yeah.
Second, the only person that can tell me this is the owner.
Yeah.
Because if the owner writes and says, hey, I don't feel comfortable.
Like, we want to have a low profile or something.
We want to have a low profile, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, they repost my stories. Yeah. They say thank you.
Well, because, like, you know, also it's a hard industry, like, especially after pandemia. I mean, people like, if they want the, you know, it's good to have good coverage, good press.
And if you are a place that's really good and someone kind of like, not discovered, but like is talking about you, that's good. Yeah, new generations are going to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the obnoxious Instagrammers are going to go and film like horrible reels. Right. Yes, that may happen.
And then I can see where it's like people don't want to, you don't want to sort of contaminate, like let's say a place like Oriente, it's like it has such a great vibe, and especially it's so porteño in its way of like, it's kind of classic old school. And so you think if it's si se llena, you know, with like people who just are there for the Instagram, it does kind of like kill the vibe.
Yeah,
and so
it does.
I mean, it does, and it happens, and you can appreciate it as well, because you, like, that's the last thing you'd want to do is like ruin what the essence of why you like it so much. But it is kind of tough, because then it's also like when it comes to new places opening, like I remember this happened to me when I was like doing more of my little foodie stuff, but also like for work, like this pressure to be like, do you feel that pressure of like having a primicia of like either knowing about a place that's going to open or being like the first one there, to then like, because then if si te ganan,
you're the first one,
like it's kind of that tough, like you don't want to play that game, but like you kind of do have to play the game.
I mean, I used to be that way, like 2 years ago, a year and a half, like,
when you were just
when I was
12,
like a baby. And but it was so unhealthy. Like, it makes no sense. Like, it's just toxic. It's horrible. Like, you feel so anxious and you have to be the first one, and then you have to go first.
It's too much pressure.
And nowadays I'm like, you know, I mean, if you see my feed, I haven't posted in a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what?
You have to also live your life.
I feel like I've shifted. Like, I do recommend places, definitely. But, you know, I also go to the same places a lot. Well, so I think my profile is not as much as like going to a new place every day. It's just like maybe talking about the places I love, that I really love.
Truly.
That I like really feel like you have to know.
I think that's like what, I mean, I totally feel the same, because in the sense of like, at first because you cannot literally keep up with all the things that are happening, all the events. And that for when I was working in like media and stuff, it was tough with the bubble, because you get all these invites.
Yeah.
And this kind of thing is like, me invitan, and I have to go, because if I don't go, then like they stop invite after, you know, if you say no enough times, they kind of stop calling you, because obviously they say, well, you're not available, or you're not into this. And so you kind of feel this pressure. And so I was like out of my house like 5 nights a week. And I remember when like quarantine happened, and I was like, qué placer.
It's not sustainable.
I was like, I get to eat at home, and like it was really nice. I mean, it's fun to like go out and have, you know, free food at these events, but also I kind of had a hard time with like a lot of these events that they do when it's like vine un cocinero de otro lado, and it's an event that only people in the press get to go to. And so it's like, what's the point?
And everything's pretty fake. Like, let's be honest.
It's 100% fake.
Like, I have a thing where like sometimes they invite me places, and I'm like, I usually don't want to go when there's like a table that I don't know who's going, and I have to like sit like. Not because like, oh my God, I'm Beyonce, like I need my own table. No, but like,
mother.
I don't know. I'm not. It's not what I want.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, also when you're coming, I think that's like also the difference.
I'd rather go the next day and pay for it.
Yeah,
I honestly just go the next day with my friend, pay for it, and then
do you feel that even if you're paying for your stuff, which I know is which is a big part of what you do, which is really good, but do you still feel like, obviously at this point a lot of people do know who you are?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's almost impossible for you to have like an authentic experience, because even if you're going and you're paying your way, you're still going to maybe have a different nivel de trato, or maybe te bajan otros platos, maybe una atención? Like, do you feel like it's sort of almost like it's hard for you to fly under the radar?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it is.
It's tough.
Like, I cannot be 100% objective.
Right. No, well, I mean, I think no one can,
but like, it is true that I get like a special.
Yeah, and it's nice, but then you kind of think like, yeah, what if? Well, this is like, I'm having a great
like,
experience,
not everywhere. Sometimes, I mean, you just, I can really sense it. Like, I know when they have no clue who I am.
Yeah, which is like great, because at least it's like whatever, no
like
pressure.
Oriente, they have no idea who I am.
Oh my God, say it again. It's like
sorry.
Voldemort. But I feel like, and I mean, and then also what happens is when you're in this little world, which is such a bubble, but of course, like, you connect with people. There's people you have like friendships with, and of course you want to like support the people that you I touched the microphone, Marco. Sorry, touched it. You want to. I mean, like you said, you can't be objective. So in your appreciation, XYZ is like an amazing restaurant owner. They're an amazing chef, or they're an amazing person. And so of course you want to like support their work.
Yeah.
So it's like, but then it's like people are like, you're always recommending the same place. And it's like, okay, you know what? First of all, like you can't be everything to everyone.
No one's going to be happy with anything you do. Like, if you go and you don't pay for anything, then you're horrible. And then if you go and you do pay and you show, then, they probably treat you better.
Yeah.
And then if you go and just get a life, maybe. Get a life.
Get a life. We're a girl group now. You heard it here first.
Like, if you're being a hater on the internet, honestly, just
conseguite un problema honesto.
Yes.
Or just like be a hater in private, which is fine. Like everyone, like we're doing right now on YouTube. But
most of my haters, I know that they are because they are in private, and people come and tell me. And I'm like, wow.
I know, it's like, it is kind of funny because you're just
trusted in you.
Well, it's also just like, I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, like literally, this is so
everyone's
non-consequential.
fake.
Yeah, everyone's fake, including me, including this face. No, JK, this is all real.
Everyone's fake. That's something you learn when you're in social media.
Yeah, I mean, well, nothing exactly. Everything is through a filter, literally and figuratively. And I feel like, I mean, there are certain. I do like though when we can all like galvanize around the same thing. Like, we're all sick of the cafe. There's maybe a certain parrilla that like. I mean, I have a lot of friends, of course, from abroad that like come to visit, or people who are like, contact me, and they're like, I want to go here. I want to go here. I'm like, do you really want? I mean, okay, I understand. Like there are restaurants like.
Julio. Just if you were wondering.
Was that a ghost?
If you were wondering.
Was that a fairy?
Okay, no, but
for real, let's talk about it.
Does it have good meat? Yes.
Yes.
It does.
Does it have
good service? Yes.
Yes.
Definitely does. Is it worth 2 hours and a half in line? Nothing is.
Nothing is worth that.
That's something, and I'm going to say something controversial. The other day I waited and I'm sorry I waited so long. Like almost 2 hours in Sarkis. Was it worth it? No. But because nothing is worth 2 hours. Yeah. And then they didn't have the mante. Yeah. I was in the last table.
And you're and you're in a bad mood because you've been waiting for 2 hours. So you're like, fuck this.
But that's what I always criticize about people that wait. And then they sit down with a shitty face. It happens to Anchoita. People wait 4 hours.
What? Like,
and then they're like, the worst customer ever. You don't have fish. No, of course. You're here at 11:30. We don't have
midnight.
everything.
You should be in bed.
Like if you're willing to wait, then you have to sit down and be a fucking princess.
You have to bunk the traps. If you're going to sit and wait, you have to...
That's something that really upsets me.
Well,
people that, I mean, are willing to wait 2 hours, but then la peor de las ondas.
Yeah. You can't have it both ways. And also, like, te jodes vos por esperar 2 horas. Sorry.
I mean, yeah. That's what I felt at Sarkis. Like, I was
it's okay.
You shouldn't have... You didn't have to do that. Yeah, I know.
But that's the thing. I mean, I think that like people, I have a friend who's coming next week, and her friend, they sent me sort of their little itinerary they put together. And I was like, a ver. Like I got like my pencil out and I was like, wrong, do this. Yeah. Because I mean,
maybe if you have a reservation at Don Julio, I will say, yeah, go.
But I kind of think, yes, if you can get a table, like, and have it booked, cool. And I get that for people from abroad, they're like, oh my God, it's like so cheap. And it's
$60.
And it's like, okay.
You can go and eat for 30.
Yeah, and it's also like, okay, I get it. Like, we love it. Argentina is affordable. Yes. Pero a qué costo? Literally, like, we no llegamos a fin de día. So, like, I appreciate that, like, I get it, and it's amazing because it's great quality, it's great service, and it's for them
We're
super
not gonna
affordable.
say anything that's.
But like, come on, like, also don't like it. It feels like weird, like dark tourism at this point.
But
like,
I
for
mean,
people, but
every city has this place.
yeah, of course, because also, and we know those rankings though are like the whole, once you learn
rankings,
when you hear
another
the whole like
subject.
50 best, when it's all lobby and it's all paid. I mean, I know, I get it, because like we're in, we've been on the other side.
This is
or
how
you
it
st-
works. Like
it's-
it is what it is.
But it's just like it's kind of frustrating, because it's like you see the same places always getting recommended. Because also it's like, no, even the journalists. I mean, I have a hard time when like writers who don't even live here, like let's say like for the New York Times, that recent piece that just came out. Like, she's I think Argentine, but doesn't, she doesn't live in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
So she recommended the Eco Parque. Like, it was like Eco Parque, and she recommended Cotidiano. Sorry, that's like a mid-level semi-chain.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's like doesn't have its
No,
value
it's not
and good.
bad. We're
but
not saying these places are
But if
bad.
you have 36 hours in Buenos Aires, which is what the nota
Are you
was.
going to Cotidiano?
I mean, like that's who
Sorry.
put you up to that? And like, it's full. Everyone, like, it's fine. I mean, whatever. This is just my stupid opinion. So it's kind of like this thing of, you can go. If you want the best steak, which is of course also subjective. Like everything is.
Yeah.
Like you said, yes, you want to go to Mr. Julio, go. But like you can go to a million other amazing barrillas that also aren't going to be. And I kind of feel like if I'm a visitor to a place, there's nothing I like less than seeing being surrounded by other tourists. I at least want to pretend that I'm feeling local.
Yeah,
like I get that. Like that's maybe like a bullshit thing.
There are
But
some touristy things that I feel like. I just came back from Europe.
oh, Aisha, chitísima.
Basic white girl. Yes, I was in Paris. And I took a picture of the Eiffel
Pala
Tower.
in Paris.
And like, I mean, some places are like, there are a few places that are like a perfect mix of touristy but worth it.
Yeah.
It's very small.
Right. Yeah. That Venn diagram is small, but it does exist.
There are some of them. I mean, I get it. It's nice to do like, the Eiffel Tower.
Like the check, yeah.
No French person has ever stepped foot on the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
Like, they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm probably, if you ask a Parisian, where's the Eiffel? They have no clue.
They go, ho, ho, ho.
Is it nice? Do you go? Yeah.
You get the photo.
It's cute.
Yeah. You. It's like you kind of. It's
Maybe
like
you don't dress up like some people do.
Right. But you go all this way. You might as well.
Yes.
Do it.
But I do agree that when I travel,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to the gems, the local, I'd rather go to the parrilla de la esquina, which, you're in Argentina. The worst meat is good meat.
Exactly.
Like,
it's like in Italy, and like even bad pizza is great
It's good
pizza. Like
pizza.
literally, like the Autogrill has like amazing food, and it's a flippin' rest stop.
Yeah.
So like, come on. Like I think that there. I mean, it depends on what kind of traveler or what kind of eater you are. But like I think that there's so much, especially here. There's so many great places.
I mean,
that,
respect for the touristy travel. Do you want to check out
sure.
the 50 best list? You go ahead, girl.
Save me a seat. Like if you're buying, I'm flying.
Yeah. If you have a reservation, call me.
Literally.
Yeah. If you're paying.
So I can complain the whole time.
Yeah. So I can pay an overpriced piece of steak.
Yeah, like
But I know it's worth a third.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
But it's good.
It's good. I mean,
Okay.
but like, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I wish people. There's this. I get that people want to do what feels safe or what is like tried and true. Everyone's doing it. Or it's like you have to do it. You have to go here. But it's like, okay, I just think that it's just
sometimes I feel bad because I see tourists doing things and sharing on TikTok, and I'm like, why?
Why?
Like
Who
you
hurt you?
missed out on so many.
Yeah, and I mean, also, when you go to a place that you're never going to be able to do it all. It's
But
like,
you know what? It's also not so like it's easier for us to say this because we know what's going on. But if you go and visit a new place, it's hard to get to the
Oh, the research that goes into like a
to
trip.
the really good.
There are
places.
multiple Excels happening and like Notes app and like.
I started researching like I'm going to Japan in September, and I started last year.
Oh, I literally spent 6 months planning my trip.
Everything I see, I write it down. I Google it. I go here. I find a food writer. I see.
Yeah.
You have to really want.
Yeah, that's what we call loco. But I mean, that's because that's what you care about. I mean,
And some people just want to go to the 50 best. They are all pretty like tabang.
Oh,
yes. Let's talk about not overrated.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Tabang.
it's still slaps. Like they still keep it going.
Tabang, it's like how can you be on so many lists
and still somehow like be. I do love that.
So good.
I know.
So unpretentious.
They're so and they just I think that speaks
and
to
he's
like
so like he doesn't
just like chill.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Yeah.
It's a hard.
I do good food.
Also, because I think that there's such a part of like the component of people who, either own restaurants or like chefs and stuff, I mean, there is a huge component of like an ego there.
Yeah.
And so I think how you like manage your ego is a big part of it. And some people like want the spotlight and some people don't, especially now. It's the whole like, you know, chefs are the new rock stars, which is like an old saying at this point, but it's still kind of, I think it still holds true in that people, we sort of idolize, even if it's at the very local level of like certain personajes, right? Which is like cool if they're good people. If they're good people. But
that's the thing about honesty though. How can you be honest when everyone has such a big ego?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you come across people are like, you should be honest, say everything you don't like about places. And I'm like, it's not that.
It's very tough.
Easy.
Because like maybe with your friends when you're at home and you're like you're, you know, secretly spilling the tea, you can be honest, but it is true that you have also like a responsibility that like you don't want to be like, you want to be honest, you want to be true to yourself, but you also are doing a job that involves like, you have to see these people at other places. I mean, so like, you don't want to like make a million enemies. I'm going to be the
first one to say it. You do want to get invited and have like a little spot.
You see?
I mean, of course, and if you're doing this, I mean, the people that tell you that they don't, it's like because, I don't know, they're millionaires and they can pay everything. They don't care. They own a media company. I don't know. But like, it's true that if you say whatever you want to say of whatever place, I mean, you're out.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
and here it's small.
It's very small.
The world is small. Everyone knows everyone.
Word travels fast.
Egos are big.
And there are people, I mean, I've had in like sort of, I mean, yeah, I've had experiences where like you feel the heat from someone who maybe is a little more established than you. And it's like, you feel like they have this power almost to like, be like, Aisha, no.
And like, maybe you said like, I love the steak, but not the fries.
Yeah.
She said.
Yeah, it's also it's very different to be like, I mean, I get it. Also, I think that there's something to be said for if you go to a place and you want to either review it or share, like you're not going to, unless it was like a horrible experience from start to finish, like terrible, worst thing of the planet. I mean, okay, enfocate en lo bueno, like maybe say the service was a bit slow, but the food was fabulous, or
I
like,
think
you try to, you know, I mean, highlight, you know, focus on the good and maybe, but, you know, but at the same time, it is challenging because if you're only talking about the good stuff, I mean, it's like,
are you being honest?
Right. It's tough.
I get that.
It's such a tough thing.
I totally get the debate. I'm just saying that when you're on this side, it's not as easy as it seems. Like, yeah, if you go and you pay, why don't you say whatever you want? And it's like, it's not that simple. How it works. Like, you have to have like a privilege, and be very privileged to like say that, or maybe you don't.
Or you're just like
care about anything. You're
yeah.
like, okay, everyone hates me, blah.
Yeah, which is just like a weird thing because it's like, I mean, I don't
like that posture. That's weird.
I think it's weird too. I think kind of being like the mala onda is just like
Paulino of the food scene.
Oh my God.
Sorry, vintage.
Sorry to his plastic surgeon because woof, they did not do a good job. Love you though because you're a queer icon.
But you know, he was like
kind of
the mean persona.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I don't buy.
It's not like, I mean, tampoco like in Mean Girls, you know, where she's like, I wish we could all be friends and eat rainbows and blah, blah, blah. Okay, sure. Like, we're not going to, we don't live in like un número de pedos, but at the same time, like it's just finding that balance. I mean, it all kind of comes out like as you explore and do, and you find the people who you vibe with more, right? Like, I mean, there's going to be obviously like restaurant owners or chefs or winemakers or something who you are more friendly, you know, and that's just the world and fine. But like, spoiler alert, people don't like each other sometimes. But you're also not going to go out of your way to be like, you know, to sort of be the hater. But I do think, but this is sort of brings me to like that gray area of like, you know, talking about how gastronomia is such an industry that we know worldwide is like muy precarizada, right? You know, I mean, it's like we've heard a lot, maltrato, bad, you know, overworked, underpaid, you know, it's
gender inequality,
so much inequality, a lot of harassment, you know, I mean, this is not new. And I mean, this is not only happening here, but it's like
worldwide.
And so, but when you think, I mean, at least in lo personal, and this has happened to me, like really during COVID, like when we were home and just, you know, the world started to, you know, like unravel in a new way. And, you know, honestly, like, you know, knowing that we can't live this perfectly ethical life of like, you know, everything I buy and touch and eat and breathe is going to be fair trade, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But like doing the best we can with the information that we have and trying to also use maybe a position of privilege to at least bring up the conversation and do your best, right? You know, to your own ability. And so it's like when you hear about places that like it's like everyone is kind of like common knowledge that like, oh, this place like treats all their staff like shit, but all the celebrities go when they're visiting, or, you know, the musicians, you know, it's like a place that has like all this fame and like exposure, but behind the scenes is like total shit, almost like that contrast. It's kind of hard, right? Because you think like maybe the food is really good, but you realize like they don't let their servers like drink water on their shift. And so you kind of like, what do you do with that information, you know?
I mean, there are some places I like. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I canceled them, but I don't.
You don't go out of your way to go.
I don't show them.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I mean, and I don't go either. I'm not saying I will never go again because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not here to be like a fake bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been
Yeah.
like in this last couple of years to these places. But like maybe I don't show them. And sometimes people talk like, hey, why don't you talk about this place? Because it's very famous. And I'm like, I don't know.
There's so many other spots that you can share.
I like what I do, maybe I'm not like severe and I don't like say everything. But I do consciously try to show more of what I think it's a little bit more ethical. But the truth is I don't know everything. I'm sure there are places I post that, you know, you get messages or people tell you, but like, don't go out.
Yeah.
You know? Like if you want to be like extremely ethical, really just
stay
cook
at home and talk to your dog,
because it's really no place is safe.
No place is safe, and it's not your job to be like the whistleblower, and that's where it gets. But I guess this is more just my own experience of thinking like you do have thinking Paige, you have this sort of this mindset and this awakening of digamos whatever, you know, where you're thinking about this a lot, and then it's almost like you want to invite other people to consider the same, right? Everyone has different opinions and different levels. Like they might say, I'm never going to go anywhere. I am going to stay home and only cook at home because
great
whatever.
For you.
Cool. Enjoy. Like have
you'll
fun
be rich
washing dishes every night.
Yeah. Maybe just do your part. It's like you don't have to do. It's like when we talk about environmental like. If you just do something, it's something.
Yeah,
like
little granito de arena.
You don't have to like suddenly change all of your lifestyle.
No. And it has to feel genuine.
Yes.
But I think that it is cool to think about like your role as a communicator and staying true to your own values and what you feel comfortable with, but saying like, wow, I do have this power of like, maybe if you say something, and maybe it's not about like pointing a finger and saying, chicos, like don't go to this restaurant because so-and-so sucks, but maybe more being like, have you ever even like, we talk about buying organic food or, you know, shopping small from like local designers.
Like not buying
or not
processed foods.
Right. So maybe, but like, have you thought about the human impact? And I think a lot of people, we like, you know, don't always have that on their mind. So it's like, maybe just even like, bringing it up is enough to be like, you know what, at least now everyone makes their own decisions or whatever, but like being coherent.
I think there are some new chefs that are like doing something. I mean, not all of them. There are some new ones that still like, you know, their brain is like the same as the dinosaurs. But there are some new chefs that kind of like, at least they don't yell at their staff. So I was like, yay, good for you.
Also, it's almost like the bar isn't hell. Like, honestly, it's like, I mean, it's like you do like the minimum. Like you let people like drink water and it's like, wow, they're so bondadosos.
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God,
I just want to give them all my money.
Yeah, all of the
so
money.
Cute.
Oh my God, going out to eat is un presupuesto. I don't even know how me estresa.
And everyone's going out. Well, so we don't know.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, it is. It honestly is a mystery.
Because it's like, I get that it's like, you know, you want to like quemar los pesos because I mean, if you sit on them, they're not going to be worth anything.
How many pesos do we have?
Do you have? I mean, I get it's like
it's 10,000 pesos every time.
Everywhere you go. I mean,
like, it depends, but yes.
I mean,
in 2 months it's gonna be 10,000 everywhere. Now you can maybe get like 6.
Yeah,
7.
If you're lucky.
No wine.
Yeah.
No alcohol. Sober.
Sober sisters. Oh yeah, what day is today?
31st of May of 2023. So let's talk tomorrow.
I'll talk to you tonight.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, what's really hurting me is the wine inflation, because it's like,
what the hell? Like, can someone in the wine industry kind of chip in? Because what's going on?
I wonder if they're like hedging because of also like exportation.
No,
and stuff.
I know that everything they use is in like dollarized.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
All the, like the machine, like I mean everything to make the actual
everything
wine.
And I don't know, like I just don't get inflation. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I'm like, can we go over this again? I don't know.
Why is everything so expensive all the time?
I mean, I would love to know. I mean, I literally like will never forget. And speaking of like time stamping our life, and we can all do this. And be like, I remember when this was cost this.
No.
But like,
it's very
my
depressing.
favorite wine, my little Alisa, no longer
Let's
little.
talk about Alisa. What happened?
I would love to be sponsored by that Bodega Noemia, por favor.
Hi, Noemia. $134,000.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened with that one.
My friend who, like my dear friend who lived here basically as long as I did, moved to Portugal. She left Argentina finally, and she just had a baby, and she lived around the corner from me. And so I was just in my new apartment, kind of like, new chapter of my life, going through a rough time. She was with, postparto, and we would have like, we would get together and like have our Alisa. And it was kind of like, 'cause it was like, it wasn't the cheapest bottle of wine, obviously, but it was totally like, it was accessible. Like, I could justify it because I was like, it's not that much money. And like, I mean, dentro de todo, I choose to spend my money on wine because I'm an alcoholic. I don't like buy vegetables, but we'll talk about that another day. But it was, and then when she left in like October, and then suddenly it was like, 10,000 pesos. Now it's like 11,000 pesos. And I was like,
I think it should be more because that was before I left for my trip.
It's probably like, I've seen it places 13. Like 11,800, like in vinotecas, not at restaurants, right?
Oof, at restaurants, it's like,
it's not even like I mean, I've texted her. I was like, remember when we were buying it for like 5,000, which felt kind of like, ooh, I'm splurging, but I was like, a little treat for us.
But that's what inflation does to your mind. It's because back then you didn't think you thought it was a lot. But now you think it's not that much.
But what's wild...
And then 11,000 will not be a lot in 6 months.
I just need us to have like a billete de 2,000. Like, cause like I can't go out. My fanny pack, my Nimes, not sponsored, but basically because they dress my entire life, it doesn't fit.
Let's talk about paying a restaurant. I mean, they're drug dealers at this point.
Well, that's like the typical photo at like Don Julio, where it's like they're all like, mira esto. I mean,
but it's true.
And they're like, they're worth $30, and it is. It's insane.
I hate you. If you do that, I hate you. I hate you so much. I want to see you dead.
It's not a flex. Like it's
not a flex. You're coming to a country that's not it's not its best time.
We've had better moments.
And then you just go on Twitter and you just show everyone like how cheap it is and everyone's so poor here. And I just want to kill you.
I want to.
It's so disrespectful.
It is. It's like that's talking about ethical consumption. Stop being an asshole. Like you can.
If you know we're all struggling, why would you like? Oh my God, this is worth nothing.
Yeah, it's like, hope you left a 35% tip.
And you haven't seen the TikTok videos of 5 things you should know before coming to work in Argentina.
Por favor. That's
cheap. Okay, but
that's a whole, I mean, that's something that's changed so rapidly in the past few years where I'm just like, and I want to say, I believe I am not part of the problem because I have earned in pesos basically my entire Argentine life, and you can all fuck off.
You are porteño.
Thank you.
You are porteño. 15 years.
Come on.
Yes.
Quinceañera, like, listo.
You're in.
But but I always think about, I mean, what blows my mind is the cash flow and paying. And I know that now, like, I was so upset. It's finally gotten better now with like Mercado Pago and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember I went to a place, and I mean, when they wouldn't even take débito before, and I was like, the law says you have to mínimo aceptar débito, because like,
and then you're like the worst. In Twitter, you'd be like, oh, you're not helping entrepreneurs.
I mean, it's like hay comisión. It's like I get it, but I'm sorry. Like, make it easier.
But part of having a business is like, you have comisión. Like,
also like facilítame. Like I always go back to the one scene in Pretty Woman where she's like, I've got money to spend in here. It's like, I want to give you my money. Please, be nice to me.
And in the long term, what I think many restaurants fail to do is think about a long-term customer.
Yeah.
So they rather you pay with cash one time than have you as a customer in the long time with débito. And you know who's going to give you more money? The loyal one.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to make loyal customers.
You're going to go back, you'll celebrate your birthday there. Like I always, it's funny, like whenever I think about any kind of special occasion, like, or any holiday or whatever, I mean, I do remember the time when like no se festejaba Valentine's Day here, and like no one would have menus, and now it's like, touch the fucking thing again. But it was any other day, and now it's like menú San Valentín, and it's like the worst day to go out, of course. No se sale, like it's amateur night. But like, if you're gonna go to celebrate your birthday, I don't want to go to a new place where no one knows who I am. I want to go to the restaurant that like they know me, they know my partner or
everyone's
my family.
Gonna sing my birthday,
and they're like, and it's like you feel like going in a way like home, like the whole, like you go going to a new place. It feels so like, and then if you never go back, it's kind of like, okay, that was like fun. I mean, it's like a good excuse, a good motive, like a good motive, a good motivo. Hello, open English calling. But like, when I think about places I want to go to and the places that I love and support,
that's
I want
to
share.
That's why I go to the
like,
same places all the time, and like that's what I don't get about this huge, like, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go in a deep dive situation.
We are scuba diving. We are going to the Titanic wreckage.
I don't know if I'm going to say names, but self-explanatory.
We're gonna try.
But like this big Instagram accounts that just, real, saturated images.
Reels terrify me.
Dulce de leche, this amazing lleno de queso. You know. That's what it's like. Do you really like what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, let's say something. If you're being honest, okay, why don't you ever go to the same place twice? Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
Like, that's why I say, like, hey, I'm honest. I swear I am. That's why I go 10 times a week to Corte Charcuteria. Yeah. I'm like, stop posting about
your cholesterol does not thank you.
I know. People are like, again, Norimoto? Again, Corte Charcuteria? And it's like, yeah, because I honestly go here.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna, I think it's almost like if someone says, like, like I said before, I do not have a brain for business, like at all. So I can see someone being like, I'm gonna become a food influencer on Instagram or whatever. And so I'm going to go to all these places, even if I don't like them, because it's gonna get, views and therefore money and
they're
blah,
gonna
blah, blah.
pay me because
right. And
they
so
charge.
It's like, I guess if someone's thinking of it like that way, I could see where that might be their thought process.
Yeah, they don't care about the honesty. But let's say that if you don't care about it, go off, queen.
Go off, queen.
Because there's also another point of this that people criticize these accounts. They're like, they're not being honest. I'm like, do you think they think they're being honest?
Yeah.
Like, you're not telling them nothing new. They know.
Yeah, they know that.
They read the comments.
Yeah, they don't, and they
don't care.
It's better because we're still talking about them.
And you're still commenting on their posts.
Exactly.
So on a bright note, they are geniuses.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's like
like
Kardashian style, where you can be like, you could say they drive me nuts, but here we are.
Maybe they don't have a passion for food. Maybe they don't care if it's good or bad quality. Maybe one day they go to Atelier Fuerza, and then the next day they go to the worst possible place
Delicity
ever. And you're like, how can you like both of them? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that even though we don't really like that content, they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. And also, we're not their target audience.
They're making money. They're
sleeping,
getting invited. They're
sleeping well at night.
They're sleeping well at night. So I mean, yeah.
Well, they might not be sleeping well because they probably have like a little indigestion.
I don't know. I have like this thing like do we criticize them? Yes, but like,
I think that like ultimately it's like, yes, there's enough room for everyone. Like, it's not our cup of tea, and it's fun to like maybe like meh a little bit. But I mean,
and maybe
who the
you're
fuck
jealous.
Cares? I mean, I would love to be able to make money off of eating. I never
or
got
have
to
1
that point.
million likes when you can barely get 1,000 nowadays with the algorithm.
Yeah, well, fuck that. Fuck Zuckerberg.
So like,
I
don't know.
It is. It's there is always a bit of like we're projecting our own things.
I don't appreciate your content, but you go off.
Go
queen.
off. Go off. You go be basic. You go that torta Oreo.
Because you're making money.
Yeah,
and I'm not.
Yeah. So exactly. I mean, I always like my whole thing was like,
you're gonna have your own house.
Like I was working, I was like, working a day job, and it was like I don't have the physical time to go to all these places, that like are opening and whatever, and it's like you have to. I mean, I had to choose like mi sueldo, and so it was like a hobby. And then it was like and it's okay just because you don't have to turn everything into a passion in a job, or your passion into a paying job. Sometimes it's good just to have it be a fun place for you to play and be creative. But like now, I mean, well, you do like photography, and content
I do like another thing,
which is really cool, and
because I don't have to like
you can like
my
separate
work on the line. Like I can go and pay and then do my thing.
Yeah,
so that's the best for me. It's the best of both worlds.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Did you like teach yourself how to do photography and stuff?
Yes.
Or did you take a course?
Yes. People are like, "Where's your course?" And I'm like, "I don't know what ISO is."
It's La Universidad de la Calle.
Sometimes they're like, "I don't know what's diaphragm. I don't know what's diaphragm. I have no idea, really." Like, I don't know. Like, it's so intuitive.
Well, it's like when you learn a language natively, and then when you have to like go to school to learn it, and it's like the grammar rules. You're like, I don't know what this is.
That's the speed. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had like a one subject in university, like electiva. I don't know.
An elective.
And then I just started taking pictures.
That's basically. So cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And maybe I don't make money like off pala, shovel. But I mean, it does give me like, I don't know, I just went to Europe and I didn't pay any hotels.
That's amazing.
Because I did photography for them.
Well, that's...
And I don't even have to put it on my Instagram, so I'm not even contaminating you.
Right, you aren't beholden to them. It's like, it's totally two separate things.
Yeah, I'm just give you free pictures in exchange of accommodation.
That's great.
Yeah, so I mean, that's I feel comfortable. And then I can be honest, I can go to the places I like. I don't have to like, I mean... There are many people in the industry. I don't really feel I have to like, don't have to like me because I don't.
Well, you don't. I think that's also, especially as like young women, we're so wired to want to be likable.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to be like, to toe that line. So good on you. There is hope in the young generation kids.
Yeah, it's like,
but like people just to do, I mean,
like I'm not going to go to your restaurant anyway. So like, you don't have to like.
yeah, I wasn't gonna go there anyway. It's like,
duh.
You weren't my friend in the first place.
Yeah.
What cuisines do we wish there were more of in Buenos Aires? Or like styles? I want more Asian everything.
Oh God, I have a spoiler. There's a modern Chinese coming to town.
Ooh.
Choo choo.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
Really?
I cannot say anything else. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But like
NDA.
But it comes from someone that's already doing something really good.
Okay.
And now they're gonna do like the Chinese we don't have, basically.
Fine. Yeah. Oh my
like
God.
like not fine, but like cool, modern, but
Like
good.
Yeah,
Chinese
like high
food.
quality, sleek, not like PF Chang's
Yes.
bullshit, but like like a little more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
Okay. Because I feel like, I mean, Asian is obviously a huge monolith umbrella. I mean, like there's so much, Vietnamese food is like my favorite. I grew up outside of DC, which is like, has a huge Vietnamese population. And like,
We have one Vietnamese restaurant
We have
here.
one place and it's like, they haven't changed their menu at all. And like, I used to go all the time when I lived closer and it was great. It like, cumple.
It's really good.
But like, I want more. I want more. Their menu is brief. I want, or at least if they're going to do it, I want more dishes and more styles, or I want more Indian food because Indian's my favorite food. I want
Mexican.
actual Mexican food,
But actual.
like real.
Real.
There is one place. Oh my God, it's called. Is it like called Taco God or something? I have friends who just ordered from it. They have burritos, like full, like proper, almost like Chipotle. Like, I mean, if you're hungover and you're craving like a Chipotle, like
That's not
okay, I know, but what I'm talking about like Shanky vibe of like,
okay, yeah.
like maybe more Tex-Mex, but I mean, I want both. I want like real Mexican,
Tex-Mex and Tex-Mex.
but I want the idea of like, I want to have like an option of like a proper, if I'm hungover and I want a fucking burrito with extra guac, what, like that's good.
Why don't we make wraps or burritos here?
Why don't we make good sandwiches? Why are there no, like there, I mean, there aren't.
Yeah.
Like, I think that we need, like, we need more sandwich variety.
There's so many things we need. And you know what we need? That this may sound weird. We don't have enough good pasta. Even though
we're all, everyone's fucking
like,
Italian, what the hell?
When people ask me like where to go to good pasta, I'm like the same three.
La Cena.
I don't think we have really good pasta here. We could have more.
I think we have. What are your faves?
We don't have that many good.
I think here's the thing. I think that we have a lot of like. There's a lot of a lot of mediocre, like, you know, like a lot of mediocre tostados de jamón y queso.
Yeah.
A lot of mediocre empanadas. A lot of mediocre pasta places. A lot of whatever.
Perfecto is the best.
Yeah, and so it's like, so then in the sea of mediocrity, and I think that that's because we're still, and I'm gonna give like a vote of confidence. I think that because just like Argentina is a young democracy. Moment of seriousness. It's the culture of eating is still quite new.
Yeah, it's still gonna grow.
So I think that like, you know, we're like little babies and like people are learning to like educate their palate, and also a lot of people are still, first of all, it's like going out to eat is still like an expensive endeavor.
Yeah.
And so we're speaking of course from like an extreme position of privilege of like being able to choose and go out and pay for expensive. I mean, I'm fully aware of that. So I know that not everyone can go, and sometimes it's like no le que otra, like get the cheap docena empanadas on the corner because that's what works.
This is all from a we're privileged.
We are aware. Like, I know that I'm an asshole, but like, I'm not an asshole. I just mean like, you know, I've got this going on.
You don't need a flat white to survive. You'll be fine.
I will be fine.
That's okay.
But I do because I use my Bodum French press that I got at the MoMA
I do feel like I need it, but we don't need it.
Like, I know that I'm insufferable, but that's part of the charm. But I think that
being a food blogger is insufferable.
I think that people are like learning that, you know, you can have like, you know,
good quality.
Like there's the shitty media luna, and then there's the really good one. Of course, yeah, people are like, well, why is this good one costing like triple?
That's another thing
which
we
is
can
like
talk about.
frustrating.
Like, how can I explain to you that it's not the same?
Like, it's not the same.
I can get a media luna in the corner of my house for like 100 pesos. I'm like, do you know what's in there?
Yeah, do you?
Like,
it's not good.
I don't even no. And then they're like, why is it so expensive? Today I did a Q&A and it was like, Obrador Florida is very expensive. Like, is it worth it? I'm like,
oh my God, that ice cream is so good. They have toppings. It's like the first place that has toppings here.
And like, they're homemade, they're creative, innovative. And then you're not also paying for the food itself. You're paying for concept, ideas, work,
everything,
research. And like people, the thing about pricing here gives me like,
it is a bit of a.
I'm like, I know we're privileged, and I know that paying maybe 700 pesos for a media luna, it's like crazy for so many people, and like we get that, but there is a reason, and not only the ingredients that go in there, but like you also have to know talking about Don Julio, let's example.
DJ.
Like you're not only paying for your meat, you're paying the square meter of being in the center of Palermo. You're paying a name on a list.
Yes.
You're paying the meat. You're paying the service. You're paying the status. You're paying to be there.
Everyone wants their little
And like
moment.
let's go to New York. If you go to like the Ralph Lauren bar, do you think you're paying for the burger?
No,
Really?
no one. No one even ate the burger. They were too busy doing cocaine.
You're going to Palermo and you're complaining. Like you're obviously sometimes it's overpaying, but like you should know by now that it's not the same to go to like a restaurant, cool restaurant in Palermo or whatever, and then going to like your normal
your
bodegon,
which like, they both have their value. I think.
Yeah.
And I do. I mean, I get that, and I even though I always get upset when people are like, well, 700 pesos in dollars is only, $1.50. I'm like, okay, sure. But like people
do you
here,
earn in
like,
dollars?
We don't earn in dollars, or, most people don't earn in dollars or have, and also like, when you think proportional to what the salaries are, 700 pesos is a lot. And I mean, even for me, I remember I went to, there is a bakery that now has it's the famous double parked street.
Yeah.
They make, I do love their pistachio babka, but like I went to the other location in Palermo, Hollywood one day after I had lunch with friends, and I was like, of course, nothing had a price out, and it was fine. There was like no prices anywhere. I get it.
Let's talk about the no prices thing.
I don't want to have to ask how much everything costs, because it's like I don't want to sound like it does matter to me, because also there are things that I wouldn't order if I knew
know
that
there's
they cost.
Inflation, but you have to make it work. It's like a basic right for us to know what's the cost.
And also because they make you feel so like you feel like it's illegal to ask.
They make you feel like, oh, you're asking the price. Like, oh,
you're like,
what are you doing here? Like, get out.
Are you poor? Are you poor? But like there was this pastry, I got it, and this was like 4 months ago or more, and they were like, okay, 850 pesos, and I was like,
awkward silence.
I really was like, I did not like mentally budget for that. Like, I mean, I could pay for it. I have them. I mean, fine. But I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And I ate that pastry with la peor de las ondas. I was like, this sucks. But I was like, of course, I had like, like a hazelnut something. I mean, I get it.
I'm not saying it's not expensive.
But it was insane.
Yeah. I mean, I think there are places that are insane, but I mean,
but then I just choose. I was like, I'm not like I learned my lesson, and I will not be ordering that. Like it's like I'll go.
It's like I don't know. Like if you go to an expensive hotel to have breakfast, oh my god, it's so expensive. Like
it's the package deal. I mean, but that is fair. I guess what might be tricky is that like some of these places look like they were put together with like 2 pesos con 50. Some of them, not all. And so it's like people maybe they're like, you don't think it's going to be that extreme, but it's like. I think we are hitting a point where it's like,
but that's a battle I'm not going to fight anymore. When people are like, oh my god, the media luna there is like, I'm like, it's like I
don't put the price like that.
I don't put the price. First thing, I don't put the price. It would
actually she does. You heard it here first. She's in charge of the prices. Precios cuidados
all
por
of
pala.
Buenos Aires. I mean, I would have precios cuidados latte.
Yeah. There should be like certain things that shouldn't superar a certain
privilege precios cuidados.
Like the
latte for 200 pesos.
Oh my god.
For everyone. That would be my first
with almond milk.
Oh,
not an extra.
Another territory.
Tema.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if you have like a little bit of common sense, you should know by now that like good butter, good things,
especially
packaging,
here,
marketing, packaging. Mm-hmm. I don't know if someone Togni's Cafe, they all of their brand is made by one of the top design agencies.
Studios or
and everything is like well made and like that's money
and
like,
you're buying into that, and then in every sense of the word, and that's a good. And so you can say, listen, that's like not my vibe, or I can't
like
go
the
there.
Togni's cookie is very expensive.
It is
one cookie. It's very small, and we know, but
very
like
small, but it's very good.
But then they have Valrhona. Valrhona is the best chocolate. It's from France.
Yeah,
and then they have it's almond. The crust is almond.
So good.
I mean, if you don't want to, just don't pay for it.
Yeah.
But like, why don't?
But people, I think especially here, there's this people like.
Well, we're
belong.
complaining, so like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're back. It's actually the entire podcast is Libro de Quejas. That's like the unofficial name of Bad Info.
Yeah, we're complaining about people complaining.
Yeah. Which is like,
oh god,
it's like a scene fiend. Like
it's the people I hate. I'm becoming though.
You know what? It's like becoming your mother. Just lean into it.
Yeah, I know, but like the price thing gets me a little bit nervous.
Well, it's tough because also, I mean, it's just it's like these benchmarks of like salir me cuesta 2,000 pesos, right? Like whatever, and then I mean the coffee, and it adds up, and because it isn't. I mean, I even find myself like I cut back where I can, only because I feel like it's so easy to just like you just blow that money. And it's kind of like, where did it even go? And so I'd rather like I do try to be more like maybe like selective of what I'm doing. And it's also like, but also it's like when you go out, it's like you're just like you're in for a penny, in for a pound. Like sort of, I'm accepting that this is going to be cost more than I would like to be, or feel like more billetes than I would like to be putting on the table. Yeah. But like, es lo que hay. Whatever.
And you can
find
choose.
A balance.
Let's all just
free will.
You can choose.
This is a religious
If you
podcast.
think the media luna is expensive, you do not have to buy it.
No, especially
you don't have to write in their Instagram like, oh my God, it's so expensive. Like,
that's what I always think is funny. It's like really taking the time to like do that. Like they don't care. But also like, and si le sumas that you probably wait, some people waited like 2 hours. Like, we haven't talked about like pop-ups and like special fechas and stuff. I mean, that's a whole other thing. Cause it's like, you're waiting like, yeah, I mean, it's like you waited forever. You couldn't get a seat. And encima you paid more than you wanted to. It's like the trifecta
or you
of
pay
hell.
The same that you would like going to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Cause it's not cheaper.
It's not, yeah, people, it's like, it's tricky. I think there's like a lack of, not like communication, but I think that certain people have different expectations.
Yeah. I mean, I did my own event and it was horrible in that sense. I mean, people that could eat were like happy. I ended up crying in front of the people.
Oh, crying at the pop-up.
Yes, I was crying at the pop-up. Because I was just like, so many people couldn't eat. And it was like, oh, there's no more food. I'm sorry.
Well, it
was like a traumatic experience.
Well, because you like wanted to do it. You're like, you have the best, like, you're like, this is going to be great. And then it's like, and you've been on the other end so many times. And then it's like, this fucking sucks.
This fucking sucks. Like, I know the people that are eating are having a good time, but then there's so many that couldn't eat and then everything's crowded and I'm like, I wouldn't want to be here.
Yeah, you're like,
why are you here?
Yeah, I would go home. You're like, I don't even want to.
My friends came and I was like, you should go. Please go.
It's my pop-up and I'll cry if I want to.
Yes, and please leave now because you're gonna have the worst.
Like out the back door.
I mean, that things happen. I'm not gonna. I mean, it happened to me. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I feel like you've got to just kind of roll with it. You learn. I think like I hope that. I mean, I know that the people who are doing the right thing or things the right way or in the more genuine, honest way, however you want to define that. Like, those are the ones that last. And I mean, that's the thing. Also, this industry is just things change, trends change. Like we've seen it used to be rotisserías, cervecerías,
hamburguesería.
Oh my God. Like
it will soon be café de especialidad.
Yeah. It's like platitos, wine bars, which I think is amazing and hilarious how like the wine bar was not a thing until like literally a few years ago.
We didn't drink wine in 2018. That's when I started. Wine was...
Yeah, the only place was Panivan, and they like survived. And
I didn't know it.
And they only catered to foreigners, really. And then of course in pandemia they had to, and like Elio. I mean, and I like tip my hat to them because it was amazing. And now it's like there's a million, which makes me so happy because there's so much to try. So I think like, but it does become it's like these trends, and so hopefully, I mean, there's a trend can trigger like a change in behavior and like customs, which I think is really cool. Like we're always going to have the parrilla, we're always going to have a bodegon. There are things that are so intrinsic to Argentine culinary identity, but hopefully, like we were saying before about like the pastas or the empanadas, like you'll have more options that are like on the spectrum. You'll have like the classic kind of whatever that like if you're in a pinch and you have no money, you buy them, fine. But then if you want like the empanada de especialidad,
and it's always good when like there's a lot of good things, like a lot of good empanadas, because that pushes everyone to make good empanadas. Like competition is very good because if you're the only one making empanadas, you can make a shitty empanada because people only can have you. So like I'm all up for like
free market economics.
Yeah,
Palanomics here.
Palanomics 101.
You sell a course. Like this is like your girl bossing right now. You're like, for the low price of $79.99, you get 24-hour WhatsApp access to me and my economic tips.
That's why competition is so good. And like when things like get trendy at some point, like specialty coffee, okay, we're over it. But the fact that there's so many, eventually what will happen is that the best ones
will last. Or, I mean, sometimes also...
And that pushes everyone to do the best they can. And some are willing to do it, some are not. And then, we'll see.
Yeah. I want to know, if you had one day in Buenos Aires, like your last day on Earth, what would your dream food day be?
Oh, my God. So many people made this question.
I'm so unoriginal.
No. But I never answered.
Well, she is now.
Because it's like... I'm going to answer this.
It can be, this is if it were today. It could change.
Today, yeah, I know. Like, what are my
this is not legally binding.
Fixations now? So I would have coffee at Blanca.
Love Blanca. They sell really good diffusers there.
Yeah,
That's
I have
not
some.
really. I got one
Yeah,
for my mom.
I love the owners.
They're cute and they're
ethical.
pet friendly.
They're ethical. You know what we were talking before? They're like
that.
they're ethical. We love that. We love an ethical queen and king.
Hashtag ethical. Word
Juan
of
and
the day.
Caro, we love you.
Okay.
Lunch. Oh my god.
Or like pre-lunch. Like this could just be a marathon. There's no your stomach room is
Okay,
unlimited.
I will go to Blanca for coffee, and then I would go to Picaron. I don't know if lunch,
Picaron.
pre-lunch, post-lunch. I will go there.
Yes.
I'm currently obsessed with Norimoto.
Yes.
Which is like, simple, but I love sushi. Like it has to be there somewhere.
Yeah.
Dinner. I think I would go to, it's so hard. Right now, I would go to get the quepe crudo at Ácido.
Love.
I just...
Bad acoustics, great food.
Yeah, and I go with my boyfriend and we like, you can see us from the other side and we're like we look like
jackets.
animals.
Yeah.
Because it's that
that
good.
good.
It's so good.
Their fried chicken was really good too.
Yeah. We get the fried chicken, the kepa, and then we go.
Done.
It's like
quickie.
10, 20 minutes.
In and out.
Yes. And if I could have like a pre-dinner, maybe I would go to Anchoita Cava.
Yeah, love Anchoita
Yeah,
Cava.
cheese and the tart. Oh, everything.
And that's just so exquisite. And then
It's
dessert,
So good.
sweet spot at the end.
My sweet spot. I haven't been having so much dessert. Maybe Obrador Florida for an ice cream.
Yeah, really good ice cream.
Or the corn ice cream at Franca.
Oh,
With popcorn, algarroba, and like,
so
good.
So good. I remember they did the bubblegum ice cream or like the flimpa.
Oh, that was in Julia.
That was, yeah.
So yeah, maybe nowadays those are like kind of my obsessions
Yeah.
from currently.
I feel like I would want like morning
La Rambla.
Morning at La Rambla, obviously, early with my bros.
So predictable.
The only men I trust are mozos de carrera, Marcos's daddies. And I would be reading the newspaper, of course, just the aviso funebres, but having my shitty coffee, and I would have a really good tostada de jamón y queso and pan árabe. That's my
Safe
start to the
space.
day. It's safe space. And then
Lunch.
like, I don't know, I'm thinking it's tough because it's like,
tough.
especially because it's like when you're like, I love music, and the people are like, okay, well, what's your favorite band? And you're like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't listen to any music.
What's your favorite restaurant ever?
It's like, I mean, that's such a ridiculous question.
No, yeah.
But I do think I feel like, I guess I think of like nostalgia and places that are like dear to my heart and places I've had good memories in Buenos Aires. And like one of those spots definitely is like, I think La Alacena, because I think of like, I get the meatballs, I share them with Pocho. And I'll never forget when Nani literally brought out a piece of their own like ceramic dishware, put it on the streets with a meatball for my dog.
Aww.
And we like shared our meatballs
Yeah.
together. Like and the panacota there is so good. Oh my
Can
God.
I add, I would stop at El Imperfecto for empanadas.
Yes. And I would do empanadas from La Cocina because I like
Oh yeah,
love,
they're very good.
They're so good.
Oh,
And oh my God.
There's so many good food.
I know there's so
here.
many good places. I'm like, and then I would want obviously I'd want like a Madre Panier from Deli Mahal, my favorite restaurant, but I'd also want my sopa seive from Mian because I need like an Asian component there. And then
I did my Asian.
yeah, you did your Asian moment. And then like for something sweet, yeah, I think of like, I mean, Obrador Florida is like amazing ice cream, but I also like call me basic, but I do love the macaron helado from Laban.
Oh,
Like that
so
is
good.
so good.
Yes.
Like that is like, but then it's like you think, okay, what's like a more classic, like Helados Italia has really good coffee ice cream, which is hard to find here, coffee ice cream. So I want to maybe like, I do love I want to like be on my couch with like my cuarto helado.
It's so hard.
It's so hard to be us.
And what do we think 2024?
Oh my God. I hope 2024 is the year of the sandwich. I'm gonna manifest that. Like I want more sandwiches, like wraps. I want like things that are like in that vein. And I hope it is. I'm trying to think. I mean, you're more in tune with this than I am.
I think 2024 is the year we get big plates again. Manifesting but like we still share.
Yeah.
Because we
Like
love to
family
share.
style.
I don't want to choose one dish. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to share.
Yeah.
So there are some things, some plates in Buenos Aires, I don't want to share, like the milanesas from Loreto. Please, I don't want to share
Yeah, that's
that.
fine.
I just want them
Let me
for
have it.
myself.
Get your
Let me
paws
have
off.
it. Just get your own. But I think we'll get like the comeback of like good, like ácido, the ácido philosophy of Nico. It's like, let's just make good food again.
Yeah,
That's
like,
it. Good
hopefully-
food.
Yeah, I hope that maybe we become we've hit the techo of like
Of
trendiness
flowers
and stuff.
and nice.
Just
and,
make good food that tastes good that people like,
and no more platitos. No, I mean, I like,
fewer, like also platones. Like give me both.
Like the plato.
Yeah.
I miss the plato.
Yes, I do too.
And then I mean, I think this is this year, but I always thought that the ice cream has still a little bit of run.
Yeah.
Like the specialty
like
ice cream. I think we could see some more of specialty ice cream.
We could see like more good, like inventive and sort of different, not the classic like ice cream parlor stuff.
That's something
100%.
Yeah.
And maybe a little more like Latin flavors, like picaron we were saying before is like so good. Maybe more like
Maxi, we love you.
Yeah, just
Thank
maybe
you.
like not. I want more spicy, but I also just want more like spice and flavor layering. So like whatever that means, just do it.
Less ricotta and ciruelas. But I love ricotta.
No offense to the ciruela, but your time is up. So get the fuck out.
Yeah. Bye.
On that note, I have a reservation to make. Actually, I don't because nowhere takes reservations anymore and it's driving me nuts. Oof. But we'll talk about that in probably part 2, which is inevitably happening because I would like to book a table and know that I'm going to have a space. But because I can't do that, I have to run and I have to go stand outside a restaurant before it opens to hope that they'll let me sit there and give them my 10,000 pesos.
And then fight with someone in the door like, I was here first. No, I was
Oh my
here
God,
first.
I will fight a bitch. So you know what? Watch out, bitches. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Paige.
With our little flowers, like one for each of us, just being cute. What a real joy. I feel inspired. I feel hungry.
Yeah, I complained. Feels good.
Doesn't it feel good? Cathartic. You can come back and complain whenever you want.
Yeah.
Next time I'm going to get you a little drunk.
And I hope you didn't record all our previous
I think he did. Well, that's going to be in the direct.
Then that's going to be the end of us.
The director's
We're going to be living in Africa if that goes out
with Katie Heron.
Yeah.
All right, babies. Well, I mean, I'll see you at the pop up.
Like, subscribe, and follow.
Oh yeah. before you go to the pop up, like, subscribe, and follow on all of the podcast things and on YouTube. And where can people find you? On
at Buenos Paladaires __
There you go.
It's not very easy.
Follow her, add to her count. She's got to get to 1 million or her self-esteem will be shot.
Yeah. You have to get me more likes or I'm going to be dead like a fly.
Oh, and also cafecito. I have a cafecito because I'm poor.
I bought some cafecitos today for you.
Yay! Oh my God, you paid to be
some
here. Some
Americanos. Yeah, I paid to be here. It felt so good.
It's like reverse SpawnCon. But yeah, find me on Cafecito too because I have to pay for all of this expensive eating out.
Yeah, and Pocho needs good food.
Pocho needs his albondigas. Come on. Like, think of the street dogs, people. All right, well, I'll see you out there, baby.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye! Excelente. This episode of Bad Information was recorded at Estudios Nieve in the charmingly chaotic neighborhood of Villa Crespo in Buenos Aires, Argentina.